Okay. All right. I've been thinking about doing this video for a while, but it's been a pretty busy week, so I'm just now kind of getting to it. I want to talk about something I've been thinking about for the past year or so. Experience as a detriment. You know, I've been noticing, and I don't just mean in fitness, it kind of seems to permeate across a lot of different aspects of life. You know, and I'll explain what that kind of means. But first thing, you kind of want to think about how the brain works. The human brain is doing a lot of things all at once. I forget the actual percentage of calories, but your brain takes a big chunk of energy. A lot of the calories you ingest is just used by your thought processes. It's not just some ethereal thing that's happening in your head. It's a piece of meat that's processing and moving you and controlling and interpreting the world simultaneously while trying to interact with it. Body language, intonations, all of these are done like that. Imagine if you had to micromanage every aspect of that's a lot, that's too much. So the brain likes to make habits. And so when we make these automated processes and habits, we don't have to think about a lot of things we do. So a lot of our emotions, a lot of our daily routines, we just put the program in motion and we go about it. It makes life possible. You're going to have habits, no matter who you think you are, no matter how much you think you can identify them, you're going to create a habit. Hell, identifying habits could become the habit. But if you match that up a little bit with the inclination to take the easy road, right? To take a path of least resistance, you start to make habits that sometimes go against the grain of your goals. So if you decide you want to lose weight or be a faster runner, I see that a lot with runners. I see a lot with weight loss. Get bigger, put on some muscle mass. Hell, take up a new profession, right? Where you might have to go to school or something. It's hard. It's difficult to do it. And a lot of that isn't just the thing you have to do. To lose weight, you eat less crap and move a little bit more. To get faster, you run more. To get bigger, you lift more. There's the very basic building blocks isn't super difficult. What's difficult is that you're rearranging your habits, and what you're trying to do is going against this programming that you may have built over a certain course of time. But obviously people do it. So you get to a point where you're like, I'm going to keep hammering away at this. It's going to be uncomfortable as hell until this becomes my new habit. I make this new program, is automated, and you become the person that people just say, oh, they just do that. The person that works out every day, oh, that's just who they are. Well, they made that person, right? Or the person that just goes to school and aces, it'll automatically, there we go. The person that's always studying, oh, that's just who they are. Some of that may be true, but a lot of it comes down to just doing the thing over and over and over again and forcing it. So again, the mind and body tends to go to the path of least resistance. So eventually, what was once difficult becomes easier. It becomes your new routine. That becomes the new program that you're initiating. And that's where plateaus happen, and that's where experience sometimes can be a detriment, right? So, personally, let's say I like to do endurance events. Or I should say I used to really do a lot of endurance events. I haven't this year. And that's kind of what I mean. Like in the beginning, it's the whole, I'm doing this to kind of become a new person, to be a new version of myself. And then when you go and you become that person, the meaning is less. You're not pushing yourself as hard anymore. You don't necessarily feel you have to. You're kind of in this comfort zone of being uncomfortable. A lot of times, if you look at weight loss, a lot of people, they'll lose that weight and then they'll gain it back, and a big reason for that is they now know how to do it. They've done it, and they're no longer trying to force that program into place anymore, and then you just kind of slide back into old habits because one habit supports another. Runners, sometimes it just becomes, you start off like, I'm going to do my marathon, and people do that 12-week or whatever program where you're kind of building up and tapering off. But then it becomes normal and boring, and next thing you know, you're running less. You cut out, that long run at the end of the week doesn't matter as much anymore because you've done it. It doesn't challenge you anymore, and so it's as easy as not doing it, and so you don't. So you always kind of have to get out of that comfort zone and always find a new way if you want to grow in any direction. Is get out of that comfort level where your experience is now holding you back. I have some friends that are into powerlifting that are, getting stronger, and then they kind of hit a wall, and they're like, man, I can't seem to break my bench, or I can't seem to break my deadlift. That's now your new comfort level. Something has to happen to break your plateau. You are now comfortable there. You're lifting the same as you've always lifted. The runners that can't get any faster, you have to change something. Your body has adjusted, your mind has adjusted to make your new challenging program easier. And now you're just enacting a program that's pretty much the same as before you started that. So I strongly think that at some point, when you're experienced at doing a thing, it can hold you back. So there's a lot of value in kind of looking at yourself again, taking a step out of your body and your mind and kind of thinking, all right, where do I want to be? Again, who do I want to be? What do I want to achieve? What scares me? What do I not want to do? And go fucking do it. Have a good one.